If you're planning on co-hosting, flipping, long-term rentals, short-term rentals, starting a business, but your business isn't even set up yet, then this video is for you. Because most new hosts overthink this step, or some of them avoid it entirely. But this isn't about paperwork. I mean, it is, but it's more about the positioning. Let's get your STR business or whatever you're doing locked in, and we're gonna show you step by step what to do without overwhelming you. When we first got started with our first rehab and our first rental, we were like, we need a lawyer. We gotta talk to somebody because I don't know what I'm doing. This is legal business. It felt like this legal scary thing that I didn't know what to do. And I was like, I'm not qualified to do this. And no one could explain it to me clearly, I thought, except for a CPA or an attorney. But then why are there so many videos out there and how-tos online posted by the government allowing you to follow them and perform them? Because it must be possible for people that are normal and don't have doctorate degrees and professional degrees that are specialized in just this, because otherwise our business would not grow, it would not thrive, and we need that. If you skip out on getting the LLC paperwork, you're just wasting your own time. That becomes the real risk. No LLC means your personal assets are exposed. You're not gonna be able to open up business, banking, checking, savings, any kind of account to store money. And from that, it's gonna make it harder to do bookkeeping and proper financing. And lastly, the thing that is the worst is you create a tax mess that you're just going to have to deal with later on. It's going to show up and it's going to say, hey, remember me? And it's going to put a finger up that's somewhere between the index and the ring. And you're going to regret that moment because you're going to know that you put it off, but you're going to know you deserve every part of that figure because you said, hey, I want this. I'm going to wait because that's stupid, but I did it. Now you got to be responsible and do the thing you've been putting off. So just do it. This setup is your foundation and you just can't scale without it. How long is it going to take me though, Matt? I'm freaking out. I don't have all day. I'm not a super genius. I'm like, hey, have you met me? I'm not either. And guess what? I used to think it was going to take me a full day. Nope. Then I realized it's probably going to take less than 2 hours. Nope. Now I can do it in minutes. Probably for your first go, 10 to 15 minutes. Once you're used to it, 5. It's really not a lot of work. So let's dive into the steps. Let's get this thing moving. I want you to just watch this video, play it, pause it, do the work. Play it, pause it, do the work, and you're done. If you do it right, you're gonna be done with this whole process before the video is over. Except for waiting for the articles of incorporation, which usually takes a couple days to get. But once you get it, play, pause, do, play, pause, do. First thing you gotta do is do a business entity lookup. So type it in Google, go to your state website, just look for all the businesses in your state. And you wanna find a name that does not currently match and exist, because you can't open up a business that is already in place with somebody else. So if you see that you wanna open up Footballs Are Us and somebody already has it, then guess what? Maybe open up Footballs Aren't Us. But then again, you might have some infringement, so don't do that. But maybe just pick something simple. Maybe it's your initials, maybe it's your property address, maybe it's something that represents something, but it doesn't have to be a deep thought. And trust me, I overthought this. You do not need to. Probably gonna do it anyway. But all you got to do is pick something simple, because your renter doesn't care, your partner doesn't care, the bank doesn't care. The only person that cares about the name is you. When it comes to rentals and property management, nobody cares. So if you're from Michigan or opening a business in Michigan, go over to Lara's business name search. And we're going to put links in the description below. So hopefully this will make it real easy on you. Once you find that unique name that nobody else has that's so special to you, remember, all it has to be is simple, legal, and available. Step 2, you need to file your articles of organization. Fancy words, but what do they mean? Not a whole lot. Just says, hey, the state acknowledges that you exist. So here's the exact process. Go to Lara, or if you're in another state, type in Google your state name, saying open new business entity, something like that, and it's probably gonna come up just the same as Michigan. Then you're gonna say open new filing, open new corporation, whatever pops up on the screen, you click that. You're gonna click new entity formation. And for most of us, we're gonna choose limited liability company domestic. Now here's my disclaimer. I'm not an attorney, I'm not a CPA. Be an adult. Make a good decision for you and your family and your friends, your partners, whatever. If you need to use an attorney, you need to check in with your CPA, do it. It's a smart move. And also, little tidbit, if you're opening this with a partnership, you might not pick an LLC, you're gonna pick an LLP. But again, it depends on the type of partnership, because that could change things too. But we're just using a basic understanding of how to use this website and the process. And most of you, if you're single member owners, this is all you gotta do. The next step, enter that LLC name that you've been working on for a year. And just remember, it must end in LLC. Maybe it's a comma, LLC, whatever it is. It's got to have that. Again, if it's a partnership, maybe LLP. When it comes to the purpose statement, it doesn't have to be some crazy salute and tribute. It can be as simple as real estate activities. That's it. Just real estate activities. Or if you do something else, business activity. whatever that description is. That's it. Just 2 words is fine. As for the next part, for the duration, we pick perpetual. And as the organizer, you just enter in your name, your address, and how to contact you. And within these steps, you're going to be entering the registered agent. The registered agent does not have to be you, but if you're local and you're the most responsible person that you can think of, then it probably should be. All you got to do is put in your name, your address, how to contact you. That's it. Now, for some of you that might be investing in the state but don't live here, or maybe you're just far enough away from wherever you want to be, you can also elect for a virtual registered agent. There are companies out there that exist like this. We'll share one in the description below. I think on average, it's about $100 to $125 a year to keep it up, but it gives you a place to send all your email correspondence, take calls, you name it. Whatever services you want to add to that can go up or down in cost, but it's up to you. You don't have to use it. Another option that would be free is you put in somebody that you trust, love, or maybe even hate. Somebody that's willing to take all of your mail, take all of your calls, and be the local boots on the ground. Now, just as a caveat, just remember that person is somebody you want built to last, that will responsibly let you know when you're getting things or pick up your mail or whatever. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that because that creates a responsibility of another party, and if they're not paid, they're not incentivized. So maybe don't do that. That's why the virtual office registered agent situation is probably the best option if you are not willing to do it yourself or you're just unable to. Now, it may ask you for attachments or uploads. You don't have to unless you have something that's pertinent. I don't think I've ever uploaded anything. No need. And then they ask you to pay, and it's $50 to send this off. Now, they do have an option to expedite or speed up the process, but I've really never seen that be a value. We tried it one time. We tried it one time without. Comes a little bit faster, maybe a day or two, but we've also seen it be just as fast as expedited. So unless you're in a real rush, and I highly doubt you are, don't worry about it. If you are, go ahead, pay the premium. Then you move on to step 3, which is not always necessary for everybody, but it is highly encouraged. And that is the operating agreement. Even if you're the only owner, you probably need this, or at least it's going to be helpful at some point. If you have a partnership, you absolutely need it. There is no way around it. You need that. Even if you're best friends or family members, you actually probably need it even more. Trust me, it's a good idea. And it's not because you're trying to get somebody, it's because you're trying to protect each other, not just you, the other person involved as well. Now, if you're the only owner, you're not really trying to protect anybody but yourself, but when it comes to lending and banking opportunities, you might need it. When it comes to a financing a property or doing a refinance of a property, they might say, hey, we just want to make sure you're the only sole member and owner of this LLC that is buying this property or refinancing this property. And they just need a document that says, I am so-and-so, I own this property, I've owned it for this long, or this company, and I have 100% rights in this, nobody else is involved, I'm self-sufficient, I signed the document. And you could probably put all that in ChatGPT, say, hey, write me up an operating agreement, just like I said, take the transcript I just said, just put it in there, say, make me something like this, sign it. Now you have an operating agreement, and you probably can have that done in what, a minute? Probably in 20 seconds if you give it to ChatGPT. The longest part will be uploading it for signing. You're done. If you have a partnership, and it depends on you have 2, 10, 20, 30, whatever it is, however many people are part of it, you just need to outline who are the responsible parties who can sign on documents. What's the equity split? What's the payout split? What happens if you become incapable of operating, or you're MIA, or unfortunately you die? Because apparently as humans we die. Terrible truth, I hate to admit, but it's a real thing and you got to have it. That's part of what adulting is. It's acknowledging that these things are actual possibilities and they suck, but they're necessary. Step 4, it's easy. It's absolutely necessary and it's free. Get your EIN from the IRS. And what does EIN mean? It means Employee Identification Number. Yes, it's as boring as you can imagine that the Internal Revenue Services came up with. Yes, there's nothing fun about it, but it's necessary. It's what goes on all of your tax documents, so you must have it. How do you get that? Go to irs.gov, search apply for EIN, and file online for free. All you need is your articles of incorporation. This is basically your business's social security number. It's required for your taxes, your banking, and anything else that comes up. Step 5 is kind of new. You got to file your BOI report with FinCEN, and it's a new rule as of 2024. And this pretty much applies to all businesses out there. There are some rare exceptions, but you are probably not that exception. What the government is asking us to do is file the Beneficial Ownership Information Report with the U.S. Treasury. So here's what you'll need: your LLC's legal name, its EIN, and the address for the registered agent. For all the partners in the company, it will need their name, their date of birth, their home address, and a copy of each of those people's license or passport. Now, there's talk of whether this will be an annual filing or a one-time filing. Now, quick pro tip, you can file this for free. If you find a site that's charging you money, it's probably BS. Do not do that. We'll provide you the free site below. And just sidebar, this was a really rushed thing from the government. They laid it out really poorly last year. There's a lot of fights from state to state, whether or not it's legal, whether it's appropriate. So it actually got shut down last year as not required, but I believe it's going to be back in play this year. So just be on the lookout. There's still movement on this. It's a very new process. We'll see how it goes. But as a pro tip, what does the US Treasury want you to understand BOI is? You better obey immediately, because ignoring that actually gets expensive very fast. They're talking about charging $500 per day it is not filed. So that can really suck really quickly. Be careful. Step 6, you need a place to put that money. That could be a checking account, savings account, banking account, some kind of account that allows you to hold dollars. I know that sounds ridiculous, but what I'm trying to say is, no guys, you can't keep laundering money and putting it under your mattress. It doesn't work. And if it is working for you, it's not going to work for much longer. To do that, you typically need your articles of organization, your EIN, and an operating agreement. All the things we've been talking about. Now, there is a tool out there these days called Baselane, and I highly recommend it. In fact, for people with multiple properties, multiple businesses, I don't know if you can get better, because there's no additional fee per account you open. So you can have 100 accounts open with any title or name or property name that you can think of, and it works. And each of those accounts gets its own debit card. So it makes it super easy to make sure you're not mixing up money, because trust me, if you got 10 properties in one normal checking account, things get confused. Which utilities does this go to? Because you got 10 of the same things. But meanwhile, if you have each one in its own separate account, it's very easy to find out which property is actually making you money or losing you money. Plus, it provides bookkeeping and it helps you tag automatically each of these accounts. And on top of that, it gives you a quick P&L, your monthly, your quarterly, your annually. Wait, annually is not a word. Annual. Yes, annual. Your annual report. And what do you do with that next? You give it to your CPA, and before you know it, boom, your CPA is smiling and thanking you and going, oh my God, you're so organized. You're so impressive. You're such a super business owner. And you're like, yes, I am. And you get your little ego kick, and you're off to another tough year of being a business owner, because that's what we do. Step 7, this is one a lot of people don't talk about, and that's mark your annual report date, meaning set a calendar invite, set it for recurring annually, because every year from now on, if you're going to have this business open, you need to re-up your annual filings, and it costs you $25. You just go back to Laura, you say, yep, we're still alive, we're still kicking. Here's your $25 to continue to exist, and I'll see you next year. It's that simple. It takes 30 seconds if you're fast, 5 minutes if you're slow, somewhere in between. A little extra pro tip, when you put it on your calendar, also have a file link within the details of the calendar invite. So when you see it every year, you click that file and it goes, hey, here's all the information you need. Here's all the partners on this property. Here's the EIN. Here's where the bank account is. Here's the last time you filed, and any other information you're going to want to have in there, so you're not constantly going, crap, where is that? Crap, I forgot that. Maybe even your login codes to Laura or anything else that you use to constantly access or work with that property or that business that you built. Because trust me, as you scale in businesses and properties, it will become a lot. So stay as organized as you can as you kick off. So that's pretty much it, man. Paperwork. It sounds lame, but it's a power move, and it's really going to help you set up to be successful in the future. This is the difference of treating business like a hustle and starting to treat it like a real thing that you want to grow. This helps you unlock your financing, licensing, and all of your real growth opportunities. It's not busy work. It's the unlock to get real momentum. So let's do a real quick recap of everything you need to do. Number 1, you need to make sure you go to your business entity search, make sure your name is okay and you're not taking anybody else's, making sure your LLC name is good to go. Number 2, you're going to go over to your state website. You're going to form your LLC, and from there you get your articles of organization. Now, if you have a different type of LLC setup or maybe an S corp, it might be articles of incorporation, but little caveat. Now, if you're not setting up an LLC, but you're setting up a corporation, then it would be articles of incorporation. Step 3, go to ChatGPT, create a quick operating agreement, especially if you're a single member LLC, or otherwise just draft something for you and your partners, get it in front of an attorney, make sure it looks good and it seems appropriate. If so, then sign off on it. If you are the only person to have say and you're happy with what you're going to do as a business owner alone, sign it. Then you have it in case the lender needs it in the future. Next step, go to irs.gov, get your EIN for free. Then just look out for the BOI requirement from FinCEN, submit that. Again, no cost on that. Open up a business checking or savings account so you can start receiving income or paying vendors as needed. And plus, if you use the right account, you get unlimited accounts for as many properties or businesses as you want. And it comes with built-in bookkeeping with Baselane. So definitely check out the link to Baselane in my description below. I'm telling you, it's going to help your business. And lastly, make sure you set that calendar invite with a link in the details to all your documents so you know exactly what to do and where all the information is stored to make sure you have an easy go every single year you need to do a new refiling. Lastly, optional but smart. If you ended up setting up the virtual mailbox, make sure it's actually working. Make sure that when you send mail to it, you're getting the mail in an email format or something, however you want to get notices, and that calls are actually getting made to you. And all of this is going to be necessary, especially if you're doing short-term rentals, because when you have licensing, they want to know who the registered agent is. They want to know how to contact you in case things change with zoning or they're having neighborhood complaints. Your job is to make sure there are no complaints. So just be a great operator and business owner, and hopefully you never get those notices. If you're still stuck or unsure, and I did a terrible job of explaining this throughout the whole video, just book a clarity call and we'll run it back through with you, especially if you're interested in getting into flips, burrs, and STRs. That is our specialty. We'll walk you through the setup, the market, and your exact next move. And again, you don't need 10 or 20 doors. You need 5. Whether we're doing coaching or putting out videos on YouTube, we're always trying to help and improve people's lives that are watching them, people that want to be a part of our community or just be a fly on the wall and see what's going on. But if nothing else, we're trying to help all these entrepreneurs out there make the process just a little bit easier and a little more digestible to understanding how they can get somewhere very far, that want to help them get a lot farther than they've ever been, because I was there too. I was in that spot where I wasn't really sure what to do. I was going to these websites like, I don't know what to do next. This is so tough. I wish there was an easy button or someone that would talk me through it. And those people and those processes are there. So when you are ready and you need some clarity, book the call. And if nothing else, do me a favor, go ahead and like and subscribe and let me know what you liked about the video and what you want to see next. Hope we're helping you guys get dialed in, and I hope you have an awesome year in business.